Hello everyone, happy Friday and welcome to Roma Theory. We've got some two big breaking news. One regarding Matias Soule, Juventus player, and the other one literally came out these past hours. Tammy Abraham wants Milan and Milan wants Tammy Abraham. And that situation, I'm not going to call it scary because we've evolved from fear. Fear is other. Fear isn't fear isn't the fact that we might be losing a player, but I'm curious to see what the kind of circumstances are to this, and if we do sell Tammy Abraham, what we do to kind of replace him. That is very interesting, in my opinion. So hello to everybody in the chat. As always, make yourself loud. Hello to Amit, hello to Nitsan. How you doing? It's a Friday. Yes, it is. Weekend tomorrow. Euro final on Sunday. Wimbledon final on Sunday. It's gonna be a cracking. Weekend indeed. It also needs to be a decisive weekend in terms of transfers for Roma, because yes, we bought Sangare. Yes, we bought Enzo Laffi. But we need more things. We need more signings. We need to sell some players to collect the money. A war to Saudi Arabia. Cars up to Turkey. These are two other deals that could get unlocked this weekend. So it's going to be a very juicy weekend, let's call it. Now, I do want to talk about two things today, as I said at the start. Soule and Tammy Abraham, both of them have been confirmed by, we normally say Di Marzio, which is a reliable source, but today we've got news from Fabrizio Romano, which is the top tier of reliability. And Fabrizio has got news regarding Soule and regarding Tammy Abraham. He also tweeted something about a war, how Al Ittihad and Roma are working to find an agreement around 15 million plus add-ons, which I think is absolutely gold. A war has accepted the deal. Now it's about the two clubs finding an agreement. 18 million for a war, around 20 million for a war is absolutely golden, and then we need to utilize that money to cover other positions. Right, I want to start with Soule here. Yes, I want to start with Soule because I'm a massive fan of this. I am a massive fan of Matias Soule, and I am in love with the idea of us bringing him in. And I do want to start off reading the tweet that Fabrizio has posted yesterday evening, 20 hours ago. Now, again, just to give you a little background context here, Fabrizio tweeted this, but in fact, the first person who actually released this was an Argentinian journalist who's very, very specialized in Argentinian deals. And he was in fact the guy who knew everything about Dybala to Roma. So two very reliable sources are saying that Roma are considering a move for Matias Soule, and that both these two very reliable sources are saying how in these next coming days Roma can prepare an official bid to send to Juventus, and how the player is a really interesting player for the project, for the sustainability, and for the manager himself. This is what Fabrizio says. AS Roma have genuine interest in Matias Soule. There is no formal proposal sent to Juventus yet, as they insist on a 35 to 40 million initial request. There is also genuine interest from Premier League clubs. Leicester keep insisting. AS Roma sees Soule as an ideal solution, and Juventus are waiting for the first formal bid. I absolutely love this. I love this because I think he is the perfect player for what we're trying to build. We're trying to build a team which won't flourish this season, won't reach its objectives this season, but will probably reach its objectives in 3, 4, 5 seasons. And Matias Soule is the player who is perfect for the sustainability of the project that we want to build, for the young profiles that we want to buy, and for the characteristics he has. He's young. He's very talented. We've seen him at Frosinone. Over the course of the first 6 months of action, Frosinone went really well, and Soule was absolutely shining in that team. Then over the course of the second half of the season, he definitely did slow down a bit. But we do need to be honest and say that the team around him was not good. And, you know, he isn't Messi, and he can't just pick up a Frosinone team full of relegation quality players and lift itself up. So I think Soulè had a very, very, very successful season. Now, of course, he's a Juventus player. And Juventus are doing something which we should start doing, as I always repeat, an under-23 team. Where did Soulè come from? The under-23 next-gen Juventus team. And now they either keep him and they've got a talented player on their team, or they either sell him. But Juventus are not going to sell him for less than 35 million. So this is the obstacle of the deal. I think this is an obstacle that we can go over this obstacle, because for what we're trying to build, De Rossi and the Fredkins, with the suggestions of Ghisolfi, are going to understand that by building this project, these are the investments you need to make. So if the investment is a proper investment, which kind of is very fetched close with your project, then I don't think the owners are going to have a problem in investing the money. 35 to 40 million is the initial request. Now, be careful here. This is the initial request. So it means that Juventus are going to start asking for 35 to 40 million at the start of negotiations. Nobody is going to spend that money. Juventus are going to understand this. So realistically speaking, they will probably lower themselves to 30 million. And I think 30 million for a player with Soulé's potential, with a player of Soulé's age, and for a player which Juventus don't need to sell because he's very young, and if he fits in their project, you can't be expecting to buy him for less than 30 million. 30 million for Matias Soule, I think, is acceptable, and we should do it. We should absolutely do it. Now, Leicester are interested in him, and Leicester Premier League money, they can easily offer the amount of money that Juventus are asking for. But the player is going to be decisive here. The player is going to prefer Roma over Leicester. 2 reasons here. He loves the city, and he said this personally. Go on his Instagram, check out so many posts where he says, walking around in the most beautiful city in the world. Number 2, Paredes and Dybala are massive pull factors. Can be massive pull factors. He's really good friends with both. Both of them have been invited to numerous of his parties. There are videos of all of them 3 playing table tennis together. Playing, what's it called? Table tennis with your feet. Yeah, you know, they know each other. Dybala and Paredes can easily convince him to come. I think we should do this. I think we should do this. The only question which I ask myself here is, what position would he cover? That's the only doubt I have. Because we already have Dybala on that side. So, so I'm like, I've got nothing, I want him because I want him. But I'm like, is he going to be a starting player? The only solution in terms of formations that comes across my mind to play Pellegrini, Dybala and Soulè is to start with 3 behind their striker. So if we start with that, I'll give you an example with the 4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1, I think it could work out. You could put Dybala as a number 10, and you could put Soulè on the right and Pellegrini on the left. So that would work. That does come to my mind. Otherwise, I don't think it's a problem. I don't think it's a problem because in about 3-4 years' time, Dybala won't be here. And that is where Soulè steps in. I think Soulè will accept coming to Roma and being Dybala's second. Being Dybala, not replacement, because Soulè wouldn't be Dybala's replacement. He wouldn't be, whenever Dybala doesn't play, you go in. That's not what Roma would do. Soulè needs to understand that he would come here and kind of look up to Dybala. Now again, that doesn't mean that he's Dybala's option, Dybala's replacement. Because then he's like, well, I kind of want to be a starting player. He will have his games. He will, because he can fit in playing next to Dybala. Dybala's injury prone. When Dybala's injury prone, similar characteristics, he comes in. And it's a long-term deal. It's a long-term project. It's a long-term investment. In 3-4 years' time, when Dybala's not here anymore, that's where Soulè starts. So this investment is an intelligent investment. This is no risk. 30 million for a player like him, I would spend 100%. I really want to see this happen. Again, we can speak about the player. We've seen the player play against us. He's talented. He's got a great technique, great touch. He's similar to Dybala. Now, again, it's wrong to compare him to Dybala because that's like comparing Zaniolo to Totti. We can't make that mistake. But, he follows Dybala's footsteps. He follows Dybala's Mate football with a U philosophy. Left-footed, great technique, scores bangers, good on free kicks, scores penalties. He's kind of what Dybala. Yeah, he's a very similar player to Paolo. So I can't find a negative or disadvantage regarding this deal. I wouldn't put El Shaarawy in the deal to sign Soulè. I want to keep El Shaarawy. Squad depth is massive. We need both Soulè and El Shaarawy. Pellegrini, Dybala. That's how you form a solid team. That's how you can compete with Atalanta, Milan, Juventus, Napoli, Inter. This is the only way we can try and compete with them, having good squad depth. So we shouldn't, you give me Soulè, I give you El Shaarawy. Because yes, okay, in terms of the player itself, Soulé's younger, maybe Soulé's a bit more talented. But, I want to keep El Shaarawy. You need to keep El Shaarawy because El Shaarawy is a good second option. So we shouldn't get deals done by introducing swap deals in them. Because yes, okay, a lot of them might be improvements, but then you're always like, I could have had the other player as well in my roster, in my team. So no to swap deals. Invest the money. The Fredkins said that if it's a smart investment that they like, which fulfills the criteria of their project, they're going to put the money. And this is it. This is a smart investment. And if you don't understand that this is a smart investment, then you don't know what you're doing. Because this is the perfect investment for what Roma's trying to build. Let me just remind you how old Soulè is, because out of the back of my mind, I can't remember. Soulè is 21 years old. 21 years old for 8 months last season, maybe a bit less, 6 months last season, he carried a relegated team. He is a great investment. And, we need to try and get these investments done. So I would love Soulè. Now again, it's not an easy deal. It isn't. There's a competition on him. Leicester and West Ham are interested in him in the Prem. Roma are leading the race in terms of Italian teams. They are thinking about proposing an official bid to Juventus in the coming days. Soulè, I think, will have no problem in accepting the Roma project. And the quicker we get this done, the better. I'm not saying this is going to happen 100%. But when you've got Fabrizio speaking about it, it clearly means that Roma do have him in their list. It clearly means that Roma are considering a move for him. And maybe in the next 24, 48, 72 hours, an official formal bid is going to come. And this is a situation that we need to keep our eyes wide open. If it's a smart investment, then why does Juventus want to sell? Juventus don't want to sell him. That's another reason why this is a smart investment. Juventus don't want to sell him. But if somebody offers 35 to 40 million, they are going to sell him. Because they know that Soulè won't be a starting player. Juventus haven't said, I want to sell Soulè, hurry up, or propose the bid, because he's not in my project. Thiago Motta has said, he's in my plans. I wouldn't mind keeping him. But if you offer 35 million, then Juventus are going to accept. This isn't like the Chiesa situation. Juventus haven't told Soulè, you're out of the project, go find yourself a team. So Juventus don't want to sell him. Juventus don't have an urge to sell him. But just like any team out there, if you propose the money, they're going to think about it. And maybe Soulè doesn't want to stay to be a second option and would much rather play in a team where he could have more chances. So yeah, Juventus don't want to sell him. Would you swap El Shaarawy with Kostic? Not in a million years. Kostic isn't even El Shaarawy's right foot, mate. And I hope that as a Juventus fan, if you're a Juventus fan, you will agree. Because if you think Kostic is better than El Shaarawy, then go watch some golf. Never in a million years, not even in another universe, I'd consider a swap deal between El Shaarawy and Kostic. Do you think Gallo will join us? Yeah, there were some rumors about Gallo, but I don't know how that has evolved. We should go and sign Speed. Hello, Chris. But I haven't seen you in that shirt in a while. Yeah, it's been a while. Paulo. I miss Paulo. Any idea if the new kits are the one with the pink stripes or are those fake? And how do we feel about them if they are the real ones? I think the kit is the one which looks like Torino's kit. It should be released soon. I mean, it's the 12th of July. I saw somebody say that it was going to get released the 16th of July, but he wasn't a reliable guy. But I don't know if it's true. Maybe he had a few contacts. It should be released soon. A lot of teams have released their kit. Do you think starting talks with Soulè might also be to show Chiesa that we're not going to give him all the time, and if he takes too long, we get Soulè? Well, look, if you want to compare the two, I think in terms of the investment, Soulè is far more intelligent than Chiesa. It is, because if this is really what the Fredkins want to build, then we should go for Soulè over Chiesa. Now again, Chiesa is definitely more of a killing instinct player. He's more experienced. He can make a difference in European semi-finals or in European finals. But in terms of long-term investment, then we should definitely go with Soulè over Chiesa. This Euro showed me just how bad referees are to this game, honestly, and it's weird the UEFA hire controversial referees for the biggest games. Yeah. Imagine having our own Wirtz and Yamal, which can be Soulè. Why is the rumors of entering Elsha for a swap deal with Soulè? I don't want to either. Elsha's gonna stay. Don't you worry, child. Yeah. Why do we spend 23 million for some unknown French defensive midfielder and not spending 30 million for Lukaku? Because we've said it many times, Roma don't want to go in that direction. You can hate it, love it. Roma are not going to spend big on players who've got high wages and who aren't young and who aren't considered long-term investments. It is what it is. It's the direction this club wants to go to. So we can't really say anything against it. It's what they want to do. They want to change something because the project that they followed for the past 6 years isn't working out. And also, Juventus does need the money from Soulè to finish some deals. Yes. 40 million total for Soulè. Otherwise, we can just keep him for next season. Can we get Soulè and Chiesa by swapping El Shaarawy? Nah, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think one player is gonna bring two players in. If Soulè comes, formation will be 4-2-3-1 with Dybala number 10 or Dybala striker and Pellegrini number 10, Soulè right winger, and maybe Chiesa's left winger. Dybala shouldn't play number 9. I'm scared that we are really considering this. Dybala hasn't got the physique to play as a number 9. Playing as a number 9 means getting bullied. If you're number 9, you gotta be tough. Dybala's already injury prone. We should not start him as a false 9. We shouldn't. We need somebody else as a striker. Right, and yeah, speaking about strikers, breaking news on Tammy Abraham. Milan want him, and he wants Milan. Or truth, or does he just want Tomori? That's the question. Fabrizio says AC Milan have made contact with AS Roma for Tammy Abraham. He's one of the options being considered as Milan want 3 strikers for next season. Tammy would also be keen on the move. AC Milan plan includes Alvaro Morata, Luka Jovic, plus one more striker, which could be Tammy Abraham. Now look, before speaking about Tammy, this thing of Milan wanting 3 strikers just shows to you how much we're delayed in the transfer window and how much it's going to be extremely complicated to compete with this team next season. Milan want 3 strikers. At time of speaking, we only have 1 striker who 80% is going to leave in this transfer window. And in 38 days, the league starts. We're delayed. We got to hurry up. We have to hurry up. Speaking about this deal. Sorry if I'm sitting all wonky. By the way, I've got a bruise on my leg, and I can't sit properly, or it absolutely stings. So yeah, sorry if I'm sitting weird in a weird position. Tammy to Milan. Now look, I would have given Tammy another chance. I would. But I also understand that if we get 13 million for Tammy Abraham, we can sell him. I do think in order to completely build a judgment on a player, you got to give him 1 season. He played really well. You got to give him a 2nd season. He played really shit. You got to give him a 3rd season. Last season didn't count because he was back from an ACL injury. I will also say I don't think De Rossi likes Tammy Abraham, which is the reason why Tammy has kind of been placed out of the project. However, this is where the however comes. I am fine with selling Tammy Abraham as long as the replacement that comes in is a decent, proper, good, wild replacement. If I need to get rid of Tammy Abraham and get 30 million from the deal and then spend the money on Yusuf En-Nesyri, I am not even joking. I'm going to quit this YouTube channel because I've had enough of repeating the same mistakes again and again and again. Selling Tammy Abraham means that you need to get a decent striker up front. Decent doesn't mean En-Nesyri. Decent means somebody who you are going to get the money from your pocket, put on the table, get him, a player who guarantees you 20 to 25 goals in season 1. Am I asking too much? Yes, I am. But is this what needs to happen? Yes, it is. So Tammy leaving, fine. But you need to get a proper striker. So all these shitty names that I've been reading for the past weeks, En-Nesyri on this side, Peter Griffin on the other side, Voldemort, Harry Potter, Hermione, Ron Weasley, screw them all. Because selling Tammy Abraham means that the second he goes, we've got 0 strikers in our team. So to kind of make up for this, you need to go wild. You need to go wild. So you sell him for 30 million, you use that 30 million plus another 30 million from your pocket, and you get a decent striker up front. And I'm going to sound unrealistic over the next 2 minutes, but I'm going to name you some strikers which I want to see in my team if Tammy leaves. Either Santiago Jimenez, either Victor Gyökeres, which I know isn't happening, but ideally that's my dream. Somebody like, I don't know, Jonathan David, maybe, but I also think we can be better. No, Jonathan David wouldn't be bad. Strikers like Sorloth for 40 million, Yusuf En-Nesyri, no, absolutely not. I do not want them. I don't. And, you know, people might call me, oh, well, you can't expect Roma to get Victor Gyökeres. I know, and you're absolutely right. But that is the level we should be aiming to. It is. There's just no other justification to this. We need to stop being mediocre. And I swear to God, I repeat this in every live stream, but it's so true. We need to stop floating in this ocean of shit, crap, and mediocrity. I want something. I haven't been... The last time I've been excited for a Roma move, it was Lukaku, which was 365 days ago. I am yet to crave a big move. I want a young investment up front. Somebody young, somebody good, somebody who's kind of a lot of teams around the world want, so we can enter a competition and sign him. That is what I want as a striker. Otherwise, I'm sorry, but there is just no way for us to compete with the other teams. So, look, Tammy leaving. The reason here is that I think we've burnt him. This is the truth. Tammy's gonna go to Milan, and mark my words here, he's gonna absolutely rock it, and we're all gonna go, oh my God, I can't believe he was in our team. Yes, he's going to do this because Tammy's got the talent, but us fans aren't patient, and we absolutely burnt him down alive in his season 2 when he was missing chances over chances. Now again, are there better strikers than Tammy? Absolutely. But you need to spend a lot of money to get better strikers than Tammy? Yes. I wouldn't have complained if Tammy was gonna stay here for one more season. I would have given him another chance with somebody next to him. Of course, not only him. But that somebody shouldn't have been Shomorodov, you know. So yeah, I would have given him another chance, but Roma want to cash in. De Rossi doesn't like him. Tammy would join Milan, would join his friend Tomori. He's already said yes to the deal. Fonseca really wants him, and you know, and I think yes, okay, it's understandable to let him go, but you have to cover this up well. You need to replace him well, because I swear if we replace Tammy Abraham with En-Nesyri, I've mispronounced his name in 7 different ways over the past 2 days. I'm gonna lose it. I am gonna lose it. But yeah, Soulè is a great investment. Let's see if something moves and improves and develops from there. If we keep El Shaarawy, we still need 2 wingers in my opinion. I would love to see Gakpo to Roma. We have Baldanzi and João Costa for wings. Also, we should sign Depay and keep Tammy. That's not bad. But look, I would massively love Depay, but if you sell Tammy, Depay shouldn't be number 1 because Depay's always injured. Number 1 striker needs to be somebody who you spend 60 million for. I know it's crazy because we've never done this, but striker market is expensive. Maybe not 60 million. 50 million needs to be the number 1 striker. 30 million from the Tammy deal, and then you put 20 million from your own pocket. From your own pocket. I don't care how you get that money. If it's because of Toyota business or Apple Music or I don't know what they are. The CEO of Spotify, I don't know. Just the money you make out there in the world, you got to put on the table to reinforce and make this team stronger. Tammy and Depay would have worked out, but Depay and no Tammy wouldn't work out. So Depay would be fine, but Depay needs to be backed up with somebody like Santiago Jimenez or with somebody like Viktor Gyökeres. That is how we make a jump. That is how we can start speaking and talking about competition with other teams. That's the only way. Because look at the market. Look at how fast other teams are reinforcing themselves. If we don't speed something up and if we don't step up the game in these transfers as well, next season is going to be horrid. Next season is going to be bad. And next season is going to be bleach to our eyes. I'm going to call it. But that is where we're going to be patient. Because this is a long-term project. And, you know, the fruits of this project, the oranges from the apple are going to grow starting from end of year 2, start of year 3. Otherwise, you know, we keep on changing and we're never patient. Milan offer Luka Jovic in talks for Tammy Abraham. Giallorossi not interested. Thank God we're not interested. I can't believe we paid that amount for Lefi and not Frattesi last year. I'm reading a lot of shit about Lefi. Look, again, you gotta give him time. If he comes to Rome and everybody starts going, "Who are you? We can't possibly be spending 30 million on you," then his moral isn't gonna grow here. So give him time. You only criticize him after the season ends, but you don't criticize him after the first mistake he makes or because his name isn't Modric. Gyökeres is 100 million impossible. I know, it's an example. I would love Gyökeres, of course, but I know it's not possible. It's just an example of the type of striker we need. Rank early top 5 Serie A just based on transfer window so far. I'm not gonna do that because my Serie A, otherwise I'm gonna spoil my Serie A predictions, which are gonna come out in like a month. I can give you top 2 teams: Inter and Juventus. Inter, Juventus, and Napoli, right now the 12th of July, are going to get 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in no specific order. But it's these 3 teams. And Atalanta 4th. Right, my friends, I'm going to catch you tomorrow. Don't forget to hit the like. Well, hit the like if you're watching this live or if you're watching this recorded later on. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to catch you tomorrow. Let's see if we've got some updates tomorrow morning. because we got to get it going. Talk to you soon. Enjoy your Friday evening and see you in a bit. Simo, out.